Spearguns are one of the most underutilized weapon variants inside of Warframe. The Afentis is one of those weapon types. It is a speargun, and I do have to say, it is a really good speargun, so that might change in the near future. Now, this is a weapon that came along the Veilbraker update, alongside Stayanax, and of course, I will be talking about its builds, what is it good for, what are the little, cool little features and everything, and basically, yeah, but if you do enjoy the video and like my voice and everything, a like, a comment, and a subscribe would be greatly appreciated by me, your lovely host of the Gaming Weasel. Now, primary fire. You fire off a projectile that sticks to a surface. It doesn't basically stick, it just jabs into a surface, I guess you could say. And it explodes. It does blast damage, and also it does primarily puncture damage, so keep that in mind. It has a 26% critical chance and a 2.2 times multiplier, which is pretty good. I do have to say it is, pretty decent. The status is 24%, which is okay, but you have to keep in mind it has an alt fire. If you throw this weapon at an enemy, it will do impact damage, which is okay, but if you throw it into the ground, it will basically stick it into the ground, it will create a field of 5 meters, and creating a field called Starry Might, which is the buff that it's called. It will double your reload speed, fire rate, and reserve ammo, and also have your recoil. This field will last for 10 seconds, and if you kill an enemy inside of it, it will last for 40 seconds. After, I think, 10 seconds, the spear basically disappears from the ground, and then you have to throw it again. If you accidentally hit an enemy, will just impale that enemy for 20 seconds, which is okay, but I honestly rather hit the ground than impale on enemies. So basically, that is going to be the way you're going to play this weapon. It does consume 1 ammo, keep that in mind, but honestly, because you're going to create this field anyway, it will increase your reserve ammo and everything, so it doesn't really matter that one little tiny, I guess, ammo that you're going to be using up. Now, the build on the screen right now, 2 Forma, and I have primarily Merciless on here. I'm using Speed Trigger because the fire rate is, in my opinion, very slow. When I'm not in the field, I'd rather have something at least to buff my fire rate, if nothing else. I have Malignant Force, Rhyme Rounds, we have Vigilante Armaments, Critical Delay, Vital Sense, Galvanized Chamber, Hunter Munitions, and Vigilante Supplies, and of course Arcane Primary Merciless, which of course increases our damage and our reload speed by 30 seconds. Now, you have to keep this in mind, the Warframe, this is the very, diverse game, many mods to choose from and everything, so honestly, what you could do is probably change out, for example, Vigilante Supplies, or I guess Vigilante Armaments, for example, for Hammer Shot, which is another cool option. You could put Prime Cryo Rounds instead of Rhyme Rounds. Galvanized Aptitude is another really cool feature. You could put Heavy Caliber if you're into that, and of course you can put I guess Fire Damage or Wildfire would be pretty cool because it increases your magazine capacity, or Thermite Rounds for that extra fire damage, and of course Armor Reduction. Blade Rounds, same thing. As I said, many different variants and very different ways of playing this weapon, and of course modding this weapon. Honestly, I played in Steel Path. The mission is on the screen right now, what the tile set is and the level of the enemies. I played with Revenant. I do have a Roar subsumed onto my Revenant, but honestly, I didn't really use it throughout the gameplay. I do have to say, it is a decent weapon in and of itself. For a speargun, it's amazing, I do have to say that. But now, comparative to other weapons, like even now, the Kuva Brahma, and for example, like a weapon like the Kuva Tsar, Tenant Envoy, this weapon falls down in that sort of category because it is an AoE weapon. It's not a spray and pray weapon, basically, or I guess a projectile weapon. So comparing it to those weapons, honestly, I do think that those weapons are much better than this. I wouldn't necessarily throw this weapon away. The secondary fire is actually quite interesting, quite cool and fun. It could be very beneficial. The damage is not bad, honestly. The damage is really not bad. You saw me, or you're gonna see me kill the Acolyte pretty fast, and honestly, it's not a throwaway weapon, but nonetheless, it is an okay weapon, a decent weapon, and something that you can, maybe play around with, especially with a Stayanax. If you use this weapon with Stayanax, this weapon Because of Stayanax's passive, counting the shields that he has, he doubles the critical chance of Spearguns, so if you use it with him, that is going to be a very, very good combo. Nonetheless, the Afentis, a decent weapon, nothing to write home about, and fun to use in certain situations. This has been, of course, your lovely host, the Gaming Weasel. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and a comment down below on what you think of the Afentis, and I'll see you guys on the next one. The Gaming Weasel, over and out.